Hello everyone. Today we're learning about siphon coffee makers. The siphon coffee maker was invented in 1840 by British inventor Loaf of Berlin, using chemical test tubes as prototypes to create the first vacuum coffee maker. 2 years later, Madame Vassieu of France improved upon this design, giving birth to the familiar two-chamber siphon coffee maker we know today. Siphon coffee maker is a simple yet effective liquid transfer device. Its working principle relies on liquid gravity and air pressure differences to enable natural liquid flow between two containers. Now let's prepare to begin the operation. Before starting, let's familiarize ourselves with the siphon coffee maker. It should be noted that there are two common heat sources for siphon brewers. One is an alcohol burner. The flame temperature of an alcohol burner depends on the alcohol purity. If using an alcohol burner, please use high purity alcohol as fuel whenever possible. The second is a halogen lamp heat source. Similar to induction cooktops, specifically designed for siphon coffee makers. As it produces no open flame, it's safer than alcohol burners. Currently, most coffee shops use this as their heat source. Next is the structure of the siphon coffee maker. It consists of two chambers, upper and lower. The upper part is called the upper chamber, while the lower part is the base. The base also has a rotating mounting stand. During operation, make sure to tighten the stand securely. Now let's examine the upper chamber. Inside is a filter claw, connected by a spring to a chain, which we call the filter chain. A complete siphon set includes the heat source, upper chamber and base. Now we'll begin the brewing process. Step 1. Add water. Attach the filter. First, pour hot water into the base. The amount of water to add? Please note, the coffee to water ratio for siphon brewing is 1 to 50. Today we're using a 360 milliliter siphon brewer. So we'll measure 24 grams of coffee grounds. We use a medium fine grind for the coffee powder. Next, pour 360 g of near boiling water, 100 degrees Celsius, into the lower chamber. Place the filter in the upper chamber. Hold the end of the chain with your hand. Gently hook it onto the end of the glass tube. Be careful not to suddenly release the hook with force to avoid damaging the glass tube of the upper chamber. Step 2. Heating. Tilt the upper chamber. Wait for the water in the lower chamber to boil and bubble. Place the lower chamber on the heating device to heat. Insert the upper chamber at an angle into the lower chamber. Let the rubber edge press against the spout of the lower chamber, so the chain is submerged in the water of the lower chamber. Continue heating the water. Wait for continuous large bubbles to appear in the lower chamber. Simply place the upper chamber at an angle. Don't force it into the lower chamber. Again, I'd like to remind everyone, we need to patiently wait for large bubbles to appear. Step 3. Straighten the upper chamber. When continuous large bubbles appear in the lower chamber, straighten the upper chamber. Gently shake it side to side while pressing down slightly to gently insert it into the lower chamber. After inserting the upper chamber, we can see water from the lower chamber starting to rise. Step 4. Wait for all water to rise from lower to upper chamber. After all water has risen to the upper chamber, wait a few seconds until the bubbles rising to the upper chamber decrease. Then add the prepared coffee grounds. Step 5. Add coffee grounds and stir. After adding the ground coffee, use a bamboo paddle to stir in a cross pattern and move clockwise, evenly distributing the coffee grounds in the water. Start timing when doing the first stir. Stir gently. Avoid aggressive stirring. If coffee grounds float on the surface, forming a layer of grounds, you'll need to stir them into the water. For complete extraction of coffee flavors. Reminder again. Proper stirring involves moving the paddle side to side with slight downward pressure to submerge floating coffee grounds. Step 6. Stir 2 more times. Turn off heat. After first stir, time 30 seconds. Then do the second stir. Count down 20 seconds for final stirring. Perform stirring 3 times in total. Then remove the alcohol lamp. Take a pre-prepared, slightly damp cloth. Gently wrap it around the side of the lower chamber. Be careful not to let the damp cloth touch the bottom of the lower chamber, where the alcohol lamp flame made contact. To prevent the lower chamber from cracking, at this moment, you can observe the coffee liquid rapidly descending from the upper chamber. Step 7 completed. After the coffee is drawn into the lower chamber, hold the upper chamber with one hand and the handle of the lower chamber with the other. Gently rock the upper chamber side to side. Separate the upper and lower chambers. Finally, pour the coffee into a cup. Students, throughout the entire process of making siphon coffee, it requires your utmost concentration and patience. Only through diligence and focus can you brew a perfect cup of aromatic coffee. The same principle applies to life and work. Only by maintaining sufficient focus and patience can you accomplish every task well. That concludes today's lesson. Thank you, everyone.